Pam here. Thank you so much for visiting my channel. I really appreciate it. As you know, on this channel we talk about travel content, pretty much any kind of trip I'm taking or any kind of travel related things. So today we're going to get right into it. We're going to talk about how to pack your carry-on and the most essential things you definitely need to have in your carry-on. So when I travel pretty light. I always travel with this guy right here, which is like a carry-on bag that you would put in the overhead compartment, and then I travel also with like a duffel bag here. On most airlines, you're allowed to carry like one carry-on and one personal item. So this would be my personal item. But just to let you know, some of the low-cost airlines, they don't allow you to take 2 pieces of luggage unless you pay extra for it. So definitely check to make sure that the flight that you're on or the airline that you're on allows you to take more than one with you, or else you just may have to end up checking one. I don't like checking bags at all. First, you have to pay extra to do it in most cases. And I don't like to have to wait in the line to check your bag in, and I don't like to wait at the what do they call it? The carol or the carousel or whatever they call it, to take it out, basically. When I get off the plane, I just want to go straight to my transportation and get where I need to go. So because of that, I usually only travel with this guy, as I said, here, and then with the personal item here. So today we're going to be talking about simply what we need to be packing in here. And this is the bag that's going to go under the seat. By all means, you don't want to put this guy in the overhead compartment because you want to keep the things that are kind of close to you that you would need the most in this one right here at your fingertips, basically. I hate having to get up and then take this one out of the overhead compartment and try to open it and fish around and get things. So in here I usually carry my clothes and the non-essential things that I'm not going to need on the flight. But in this bag I really do like to keep things that I may have to have in my fingertips like at all times. So today we're going to talk about filling this one up. Okay, so the first thing you desperately need to put in this guy right here, the one that's going to go under the seat, is a pen. I cannot believe how many people in these days and times don't carry pens. Yeah, I know we're definitely in the digital age and everything, and not a lot of people carry pens anymore, but but on a flight, you definitely need it, especially if you're going overseas. Maybe not so much if you're flying domestic, but going overseas. Because a lot of times you're required to fill out a form where you declare how much money you're bringing into the country, to declare maybe that you're free from COVID these days. There's forms to fill out, your name, your address, where you're from, your passport number, where you're staying. And you would be surprised how many people on the flights don't have pens, and they expect cabin crew to provide pens for everyone. No ma'am, no sir. You need to carry your own pen. Preferably 2. I always carry 2, one blue one and one black one. Try to stay away from the funkier colors, because on these official documents that you're going to be signing, they really only like blue and black ink. They don't like funky like pink ink or green colors or purple. I love my colorful pens, I do. But at the same time, definitely carry like a blue or a black pen, maybe 2. So like one for your neighbor. If your neighbor when you're filling out a form, if your neighbor sees that you have a pen, of course they're probably going to ask you if you have a spare. So definitely take 2 of these in your bag for sure. Definitely necessary. Another thing I think you should definitely take are some wet wipes. I love these little guys. I'm really a stickler on cleanliness. When I get on the plane, the first thing I do is I take a wet wipe and I start wiping down everything. Like I wipe down the arms of the chair, I wipe down the tray table, I wipe down the entire back of the seat in front of me, basically. So a lot of times I don't know if those airlines get cleaned so well. So I think it's good in this case to have your own wet wipes with you so you can make sure that your seat at least is clean and sanitary, definitely. So definitely these guys are a must. If you don't have these automatically like moist wet wipes, definitely some sanitizer and some tissues, definitely. So if you don't have the wet wipes, definitely I sometimes put a few drops of sanitizer on the tray table, etc., and then wipe it with a tissue. And of course these tissues are good, like if you have a runny nose, you need to blow your nose, your neighbor needs to blow their nose, you can offer them a tissue. These are just handy. And of course, when you're, after you finish eating or whatever and you don't want to get up and go to the bathroom, you can just sanitize your hands. Even if you have wet wipes, definitely take some regular hand sanitizer in your carry-on and some tissues as well. Okay, the next thing I recommend for you to take are some breath mints. Definitely take breath mints. People have different diets, people like different foods, and sometimes the airline food can make your breath smell a little funky. So definitely, after I finish eating, I always pop a breath mint into my mouth, and you never know when you may need one. So it's always good to have these handy, so people won't have to deal with your funky garlic breath or whatever they're serving on the plane. And you can also offer them to your neighbor if your neighbor's breath kind of smells, but just be discreet about it, basically. But it's good for you to have, so they're definitely going in. The next one we probably need to talk about is medicine, basically. These aren't exactly medicine, these are supplements I take. I'm lactose intolerant. And one time I remember being on a flight and I wanted some coffee, and I asked them if they had non-dairy creamer, and of course they didn't. So normally if I'm going to take something with milk in it, I have one of these near me at all times, but on this particular trip I had accidentally, well not accidentally, it slipped my mind. I put them in here, basically in one pocket in here, like a whole bunch of them. And of course I didn't have them with me when I needed to actually drink the coffee. So any kind of vitamin supplement or medicine that you think that you're gonna need, either medicine for headaches or aspirin, paracetamol, whatever you use, definitely make sure that they're in here so you can just reach down and get them. Don't be like me. I wasn't able to have coffee that day because they didn't have any non-dairy creamer, and I didn't have access to these guys right here because they were in my other bag. So definitely keep these handy in a nice little convenient pocket here. You can use them when you actually need them. Okay, all right, what else? Definitely a toothbrush, definitely in your bag, for sure, in your top bag, because you definitely may want to just duck somewhere and brush your teeth, after you finish eating or something. And it's probably better to have it in here than in the bigger carry-on. You have to reach up there and get it. So definitely a toothbrush is good. What else? Definitely these guys. I would never make the mistake again for leaving without plasters that you call them in Europe. We call them Band-Aids here in America. And I remembered one time I was I was taking a trip, and this carry-on bag here was actually very heavy, and I had trouble lifting it up into the overhead compartment. And of course, my entire nail, like my entire pinky nail, came off. And nobody had one, like a clipper or anything, but thankfully one of the guys next to me had a plaster, and he actually gave it to me, and I was able to wrap my nail until I was able to actually find a clipper so I could cut it and fix my nail, basically. But these are definitely lifesavers, just in case you need one. You can offer one to your neighbor if your neighbor has a problem or needs one. You never know what's going to happen, so you definitely should make sure you have some of these in your bag. Maybe not like this whole box like this, but definitely take 3 or 4 with you until you get to your destination, just in case something happens, for sure. All right, definitely this is the next one that I find is quintessential to traveling anywhere, is a pair of socks. Desperately needed, especially when you're going somewhere during the summer. A lot of people wear sandals in the summer and they don't wear socks, and a lot of times when they get on the plane and they don't have socks on, their feet get cold, and this happens to me constantly. So I always make sure that I have a little pair of socks with me in my bag, just in case or my feet get cold. And it's a little bit more hygienic too. Some people like to slip their shoes off on the plane, and I definitely would not want to be walking on the plane with bare feet, so definitely it would be good to have these socks with you at all times. This little thing is another lifesaver. This is it's a Tide to go, but for those of you who may not have Tide, this is like a pen, a detergent pen. So basically you use it on your clothes. If you spill something like coffee or wine or something on your clothes, you use it to kind of wipe that stain out. And this stuff literally is magic, ladies and gentlemen. I've had some accidents on planes with coffee and little dabs of coffee falling on my clothes for whatever reason, turbulence and all that. And then I just use this thing, and literally like in 10 minutes the stain is gone. You don't even have to put it in the washing machine. This thing literally fades all of the stains that you may have, especially if you do right when you have an accident, and then you use this pen immediately, and basically all the stains come out of your clothes. So I definitely would not go anywhere without this little guy. So that's the main reason why I do advocate for these, for sure. Okay, everybody, so now we're coming to some of the most important things that you need, the last two. A pair of wired headphones. These are not wired headphones, these are wireless headphones. I always have these with me at all times, pretty much no matter where I go, but it's so important also to have a pair of wired headphones also. I don't actually have any right now. I think the last pair of wired headphones broke, so that's a reminder that I actually need to buy some before I head out next week. So I'll have them with me. And why do we need wired headphones? Isn't that like so 1999, early 2000s we're thinking? Well, yes, but you have to think about these planes. A lot of these planes are not set up for Bluetooth. And so if you want to listen or watch the in-flight entertainment on the back of the seat sometimes, they only have a little jack for your wired headphones. They do not have Bluetooth where you can connect your wireless headphones yet. And the main reason why you want to take a set of wired headphones, because I have heard countless horror stories online about people who are using the wireless ones. They go to sleep. One of them falls out of their ear into the seat on the side, sometimes in between seats and whatnot. I have experienced it, like a guy losing one of his headphones and literally basically poking his hand back into my area for like, I don't know, 30 minutes to trying to get it out, basically. There was another story I heard about this woman who dropped her beautiful AirPods, one of them behind the seat. Couldn't fish it out. She tried to get the flight staff to help her find it when the plane landed. They were kind of in a snippy mood and said, everybody needs to deplane now. And she tried to plead her case that she left her AirPod there, it had fallen, but they weren't about to hear it. So basically one of her $100 AirPods, one of them was left behind and she never got it back. So to be honest, when you're listening to music, I know the sound quality isn't as good, but definitely try to take your wired headphones. They do not, they don't really have a chance to get lost like the wireless ones do. And again, for the in-flight entertainment, of course, they don't usually have Bluetooth for wireless headphones yet. So you definitely need your wireless headphones, your wired headphones, excuse me. I don't have any right now, so I'm just gonna pop them up, picture of them up here, but I'm sure all of you know what they look like and how to use them, so I don't need to go into that. Okay, and the last thing that you need to take in your carry-on luggage, the one that you put under the seat, is your laptop. Do not play around with this. Definitely keep your laptop and all the accessories, the cord, and anything that you may need for your laptop. Always have that in your duffel bag. And you don't risk putting it in here, because there's always a chance that I've been in situations where the flight was very, very crowded and there wasn't space enough for everybody's bag. So anyone who had these bigger ones, they had to check them. They had to leave them at the gate to check their bags because there wasn't enough space in the overhead. I've read some horror stories about people doing that. They had their laptops in their bag, thinking that they were going to be able to get on the plane with them and put them in the overhead, but they had to check them. They didn't take their laptops out, and they left it at the gate. And by the time they picked it up off at baggage reclaim, their laptops were stolen. Don't let this happen to you. Definitely make sure that your laptop is in your carry-on bag. I always have it in here. This one I always have. The bag that goes under the seat, they usually never try to check. But something big like this, if there's not enough space, they probably will make you check it. So don't make the mistake of putting your laptop in here, because there is always a possibility that you may not have it when you land. So just be careful. Put it in here for your own peace of mind. Oh my gosh, everyone, so this is like the last video I think you're going to get from me while I'm in San Francisco. So next week I'm going to be leaving. I'm going to be going to the UK for a couple of days. And then I'm going to be going to Poland for a wedding. I'm really excited. And then I'm also going to be visiting the Republic of Georgia for the first time, and also Armenia. So I'm really excited about that. So you're going to be coming with me for all of this. So we're going to be doing a lot of things, shopping trips, high tea in the UK. I'm going to film the wedding as well, so you can see what a Polish-American fusion wedding would look like. and lots of new discovery from different countries. So I'm looking forward to having you all with me when I go on holiday. So let me know which of these tips that you found were the most useful. Which of these things do you already follow? Are there any more essentials that you think that you need to also have in your hand luggage that goes under the seat? If any of you have any suggestions on what extras that you may need for your carry-on bag, please leave it in the comment. Let me know. I would love to have a dialogue and discussion with some of you about how you pack and what you like to do when packing. All right, well, I guess that's all from me today. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe if you like my videos, and I hope to see you in the next one soon. Bye.